Jake, don't you think we're a little early to graduation?
What? Really? I thought I was supposed to start at 9:30. Technically, you're on time.
No, I'm talking about the part where we're a month early.
Oh, right, that.
See you all on the 22nd of May. Bye.
Jokes aside, hello
Assalamu alaikum.
and namaste.
Welcome to the graduation of the class of 2021.
I am Jigyasha from Nepal
And I'm Smriti from Bangladesh.
and will be your host for today. To begin with, we'd like to call our head of college, Suraya, deputy head of college, Charlotte, and head of infrastructure, Tushar, to light the ceremonial lamp and inaugurate today's ceremony, a traditional way of commencing auspicious occasions. Before we proceed with the graduation ceremony, we'd like to take a moment to appreciate everyone who is here today and everyone who isn't. and the amazing faculty who raised this class like their own children, to the first year batch for waking up early in the morning to support our beloved second years, even though most of us only get to watch from behind the screen, and of course, our amazing second years, the graduating batch of 2021.
Isn't like most of the others in UP history. The family and friends of the graduating batch aren't here with us today in person. We'd like to appreciate everyone watching on the live stream. We know it must be incredibly hard to not be in person for this auspicious moment, but thank you for being there for our second years, even if it's virtually.
To be honest, a week ago, none of us thought we'd be sitting here.
And by here, we mean at 4 distinct locations with maximum of 25 people, of course.
Yes, none of us thought we'd be here at 4 distinct locations with separate gatherings of maximum of 25 people, or virtually for that matter. None of us thought we'd be graduating in April at all, but a global pandemic has a way of turning our lives upside down, and who would know that then better than you guys, the batch of 2021.
Right here in this MPH, about 1 year, 1 month, and 15 days ago, all of you went through some of the hardest goodbyes of your life, and here you are again. What you guys have experienced as a batch is something that no one else can really understand. But as your first years, we've had the honor of witnessing you make the most of your time on this hill, despite all the hurdles that have come your way. Class of 2021, thank you so much. We love you from the bottom of our hearts for being the reason COVID is the least memorable thing about the past year for us. From Yuki Olympics, which Wadapur clearly won, to regional leagues, to virtual flash mobs, thank you for everything you've done for us.
Now, Shayad from Delhi, Ashna from Pune, and Smiti from Bangladesh are going to perform a Bangla song by Rabindranath Tagore called Purano She Dinner Kotha to convey you just how much you guys have meant to us this past year.
Hello. Hello everyone. So the song we're singing today is a song that represents a lot for us. It's a song in Bangla about memories and the times we've had together. And we hope you guys like it. Now, we'd like to welcome on stage our head of college, Soraya, for the last time to share a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Feels rather strange saying good morning on a graduation day. So last year, when we had our impromptu graduation, we had hoped that this year we would have a regular one. But here we are. Life is unpredictable. Community and creativity have been the themes for this graduating batch over the last 2 years. And I want to start by saluting students and faculty for all that you have done over the last year to keep this community together in all manner of creative ways. While I have the microphone and before I go into my actual speech, I want to say a few thank yous. Special thanks to the students and also to our Triveni team led by Manish, who managed to plan the ceremony today so that it is as authentic as possible and also as safe as required. Our registrar, Jayashree, moved on to campus so that she could organize the event, and Rini, our well-being counsellor, has stepped up to support her. Thank you to both of you. The facilities team, part by distance and partly on campus, thank you to all of you under the guidance of Avdesh. IT, as usual, have been ready to support us so that those who can't be here can follow the event online. Sumit, Nitin, Jagannath, and even Prashant, who is recovering from home. Thank you. As usual, the Sodexo staff, an integral part of the Muki family, have stepped up to help us with this event, despite the fact that Samir, their manager, has been in quarantine. A special thanks to the absent ones, students, faculty, and staff who haven't been able to attend the ceremony with us today. You are very much with us in our thoughts. All the members of the Muki family have helped to make today's event possible, and even if I do not mention every name, you know your contribution is much appreciated. And just before I actually say the few words I prepared for today, I want to call on the stage some people without whom this last year would not have been possible. Tushar, Aparna, and Noah, Manish, and Mansi, please come and join us on the stage. Kept the campus safe, got everybody here, and managed to actually deliver learning programs really in the face of adversity. So a big thank you to all of them. And Charlotte, of course, please stand with them. So, graduating batch 2021. This graduation ceremony is also my graduation ceremony. It closes 6 years for me at Muki, 3 of which as head. I would much rather have had a graduation where all of us could have celebrated together with parents and family of the graduating batch present. But we don't get to pick and choose how life plays out. We only get to decide how we participate. So, graduating batch 2021, you get to decide whether amidst the uncertainties which have become the daily fabric of our lives, you are going to participate or watch from the sidelines and wait for a return to normal that may well take a while. Despite the talent that many of you displayed during theatre season, one hopes that you will not throw up your arms dramatically and bemoan your fate as the batch for whom COVID messed things up. Because that is not the Muki way. What we hope you have learned over the last 2 years as Muki students is that even when the odds look like they're stacked against you, you find ways of achieving your goals. If we hadn't adopted this attitude as a community, we wouldn't have had the last few extraordinary months on this campus together. As I was thinking about what to say to you, I thought about how our outdoors program is such an important part of the Muki core. Yes, the Muki core comes back to haunt you even on your graduation day, guys. and how the outdoors is really a metaphor for the world you will be exploring as you leave this campus. While a UWC education equips you to make a positive impact in the world, the 7 principles of Leave No Trace, which teach you how to interact with the outdoor in a respectful way, can provide a useful code by which we can live our lives in the world around us and the communities that we join. I hope that they can guide the way you behave wherever life may take you. So, the 7 principles of Leave No Trace. First, plan ahead and prepare. This, I think, is self-explanatory. Try not to wing it, Muki graduates. Try to be intentional in what you set out to do, and don't leave too much to chance. Principle number 2, travel and camp on durable surfaces. Well, wherever you go in the world, choose carefully the places where and the people with whom you build your life. Be sustainable and be safe. Number 3, dispose of your waste properly. This includes anything you divest yourself of, whether they be material things or your emotions, like anger and frustration, which you offload on others. Dispose of them thoughtfully. Avoid hurting people's feelings. Number 4, leave what you find. I think you have been taught to leave things better than you find, wherever possible. And do no damage to those who cross your path. Do not automatically assume there is a need for your intervention. Sometimes, just observe and learn. That is enough. Number 5, minimize campfire impacts. Well, how do we extrapolate from there? Things go wrong sometimes. Do your best to minimize any negative impacts of your decisions or choices. Know that your actions or inaction affect others. 6th principle, respect wildlife. There are those who also live in the world you will choose to inhabit. They may have arrived before you, and they may live by a different code to you. Your way is not the only way. Learn from others and show some humility. Lastly, be considerate of other visitors. We are all on the highway of life, and there are other travelers than yourself. Courtesy and politeness can be underrated in a UWC world where individual freedom is given such importance. Show sensitivity to others, and sometimes give priority to the needs of others when this looks like what is required. I am happy to have known you, class of 2021. My wish for you is that you use the power and privilege that a UWC education has given you to protect those who are weaker than yourself and to give voice to those who do not have the opportunity to speak up. Congratulations and well done.
Thank you so much, Suraya, for the wonderful speech.
Now, we'd like to welcome our second performance of the day, which is All I Want by Codaline, performed by our lovely second year Priyanka from Assam.
Hello everyone. So the first time that I ever sang or played my ukulele was here in UK, and
I thought it was only fair to perform one last time before I graduate officially, so here it goes. All I want is nothing more. Hear you knocking at my door. And if I could see your face once more, and I happy that I'm sure. When you said your last goodbye, died a little bit inside. Now lay in tears in bed all night, alone without you by my side. But if you love me, why'd you leave me? Take my body, take my body. All I wanted, no one needed, to find somebody, like you brought out the best of me, part of me I'll never see. Took my soul practically. Love was made for moving screens. But if you love me, why'd you leave me? Take my body, take my body. All I wanted, all I needed, to find somebody, find somebody. But if you love me, why'd you leave me? Take my body, take my body. All I wanted, all I needed, to find somebody, find somebody. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the performance, Priyanka.
Now, please welcome our Deputy Head of College, Charlotte, to say a few words.
First of all, I want to congratulate the class of 2021, those who are here and those of you who couldn't be present and are watching online. I have been trying hard to find just one word that in my mind would sum up the past 2 years, the 620 days that I have known you. But one word just wouldn't do it for me. I tried limbo, for the uncertain state life has been for most of the time since you arrived at Newquay in 2019. I tried tumultuous, for the turbulent time we have been finding ourselves in for a long time now. I tried surreal, because life on the hill seems like a combo sci-fi, drama, comedy Netflix series with no immediate ending. I tried exhausting, because being a member of this hill community can be exhausting in a good sense of the word, but also because online learning is exhausting. And you have had your fair share of it, whether it was the IB curriculum, core, Treveni, college counseling, water concerts, you name all the things that you have done online. I tried emotional, because many of us have felt the range of emotions: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, joy. Then I tried resilience for you. You are a resilient batch. Despite all the odds against you, you have shown and developed stamina and resilience. You didn't give up. You stuck with the purpose of coming to Newquay. So congratulations with that. So the words I decided that would best describe these past 2 years are loss of what used to be. I don't have to tell you that the world has changed. We have to change the way we used to do so many things, ways we didn't give much thought to. Little things like hugging a friend when we meet, shaking hands when we greet each other, riding crammed in the back of the Jeep, sharing mugs and water bottles, traveling by air, sharing meals in the cafeteria or in our home. There is this sense that we have lost something. And I think that thing we have lost is normalcy. Even the way we used to go into the classroom to get our education has undergone a change. The app Zoom was first used in 2011, Padlet in 2008, Mentimeter in 2014. I didn't really used to use those apps, but since we lost normalcy, the use of these apps have spread like wildfire with the shift to online learning. Breakout rooms and Zoom fatigue are common words we now use, and we even talk about the psychological impact Zoom has had on us. But luckily, normalcy would also return at some point. I think the loss is temporary, and while we are in the midst of this global health storm, it is sometimes difficult to believe that normalcy will return. And I think it will be a different kind of normalcy. Since we don't know yet what this normalcy will look like, it is only natural that we at times feel scared, worried, afraid, sad, again the range of emotions. And each of us feel the gambit of these emotions at different times. So I suggest to you that you accept that the global pandemic has hit each and every one of us. It has happened, it is still happening, and it will continue to cause havoc for some time yet. But so now what? What can you do to go on with pursuing your dreams and your plans? Because you must not give up. What are the small, meaningful things you can do? You can follow protocols that aim to keep you safe. You can check in with your family and your friends and give them the support they need at times. You can continue to learn new things. You can continue to dream and think about what kind of future world you would like to help create. You can do a lot by being present, being in the present, enjoying the small things that are right in front of you. Now is the time to overprotect each other, to be compassionate with ourselves and with others. It is the time to be forgiving to oneself and those around us. We shall get through this storm, and we shall go into a time of new beginnings. And for you, new beginnings start today when you're no longer a high school student, but a high school graduate. Today you join a group of nearly 60,000 UWC alumni. Welcome to your new family. So I want to wish you good luck. Do the best you can, because you have a lot to offer the world. Don't waste bad times. Learn from them and do something with them. Right now is the time to look forward to new beginnings and the new normalcy that awaits you. You are ready. I also want to extend my special congratulations to those 30 students who engaged and completed the project-based certificate. You worked extra hard and you overcame so many challenges and obstacles. I hope that we will see some of your projects as new trainees next year. My final words of congratulations go to our graduating faculty, those who will not be returning next year. I wish you well on your next journey, and I have a simple ask of you. I know you will travel with UP in your heart and soul, but don't forget us. Let us know how you settle in where the grass is greener. So I wish to say goodbye to Chaya, Ujvala, Kath, David, Beatrice, Tanushka, Akana, and of course not least Soraya. I know she's leaving a place she cares deeply for. Thank you to all of you outgoing faculty for everything you have contributed to UWC movement, and not least UP. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Now we would like to proceed towards certificate distribution ceremony,
which we know the second years have all been waiting for. Up first, we have the water that's far enough away that we're really grateful they made the long hike to be here today. Please, we welcome on stage the Papa de Wada of Wada One, Matthew.
Hello there, and welcome to Wada One, the place, not the musical. Wada One, the place, is a kind of a mythical place, you understand? A place filled with symbolism and things like that. So I wanted to speak this morning for all the students of Wada One in a kind of polyphonic way to capture their voices. So I enlisted the help of two of my strongest literature students as script writers. Thank you, Mr. J. Galasso and Mr. S. Deshpande. And here is what I have to say. Bro. This year was hella sus. But Wada One low-key slaps. Right. Thank you, gentlemen. Those 2 years of literature class was certainly not wasted. The mystical Wada One is known throughout UP for its isolated location. Thank you for the introduction there. Many of you listening have never been to Wada One, but if we were all physically here, I would invite you all to gaze towards the east and cast your eyes on the distant horizon, where on a clear day, you might just be able to make out the sunlight glinting off a saucepan filled with Maggie. It is so far to Wada One that after a day in the AQ, when the Wada One students make their weary way back home, they often manage to reach it just in time for check-in. Time for a quick shower, a brief nap, before they have to turn around and go back again. And if they hurry, they might just make it in time for first block. And if they are a little late, really it is through no fault of their own, but the vast distances they have to cover. It takes a regular person fully a day's travel to reach Wada One. The route of the traveller, not tourist. The The route of the traveller passes through treacherous swamps in monsoon and huge arid deserts in summer before finally arriving at the foot of the steps. There are 9,990 steps that lead from the Wada Road to Wada 1. Each step representing 10 spirit points won in Youth Olympics over the past 2 years. The traveller then ascends up through the clouds, and when an hour later they reach the top, a shiver runs through them as the spiritual power of the place overcomes them. They hear the harmonious sound of the sweet breath emitted by the students constantly chanting the name of Kirtan, our revered founder. And if you listen carefully right now, you might just hear it. Hi. In House 5, you'll find Anushka, Miti, Aneska, and Leticia scheming and plotting. In House 6, Shreya will be dancing, Priyanka will be singing and playing the ukulele. In House 7, Joseph and Zahir will be proudly parenting their weirdo first years. In Houses 8 and 9, Samuel and Mahdi, Gerald and Nico will be redefining cool. In House 10, Maya, Manvi, Swara and Miranda will be creating art and beauty. And in House 11, you find the sisters Maha and Nifemi, our emerging Latina, Samyukta. And Kien. Kien will be somewhere else. The visitor will gaze at these people in awe. Perhaps they've already heard of the resilience, creativity, love and spirit of these students. And if not, they know about it now. A shout out here also for those who've left us already, transferring or moving on elsewhere, but who are nevertheless always in our hearts. Abba, Amanda, Ataula, Kiara, Ivan, Johan, Lucas, Marie-Pierre, Miranda, and Aneska, who graduated yesterday. What a one. Thank you for being complete legends these past 2 years. Your faculty, the amazing Paula, Ainoa, Sandhya, and Sanidia have been such a wonderful help to me and to you. Are incredibly proud of you and honoured to know you, and we have high hopes for what you will achieve in the future. You have shown grace and strength in the past year, and what you've learned will guide you in all your ventures. And thus, another batch of Wada 1 dreamers and visionaries graduates, and I utter before you, one final time, the immortal words, Vamos, Wada 1! And I would like now these champions to come forward to collect their diplomas. Starting with Anushka. Joseph. Gerald. Hien. Leticia. Maha. Mari. Marvin. Maya. Miranda. Miti. Nico. Nefemi. Priyanka. Samuel. Samyukta. Shriya. Swara. And Zahir.
Be it talking about religion or planning the strategies to win Youth Olympics or trying to find out a dead rat in the commune, greed has never led Goa to that. Please help me with a round of applause to welcome on stage the legend himself, Reed.
So one or two second years. We both arrived at the same time. You're the first batch that I've had the pleasure of seeing arrive and graduate. So for me, you're like children to me. I love you dearly and you will be missed. We've had a crazy 2 years and it's hard to believe that you're actually walking the graduation stage today. There are a few of us that started that are no longer here, but know that I am proud of you no matter where in the world you are. For those of you here today, know that life will someday return to normal. I don't know when, but COVID will be beat someday. COVID has most likely been the defining moment of your life, but use this frustration, use this sadness as motivation to create a better planet. Before I go on, I want to give gratitude to all of those in Watatu who made this possible. First, Shiva. I could not have done this without your love and support. I am eternally grateful for all that you do. Aparna, Kiara, Curran, and Rennie, I cannot ask for better colleagues and WADA adults. Thank you all so much for helping us steer the ship this far. I would also like to thank the Sodexo staff and security guards that helped keep Watatu clean and safe. If only they could do a little better job at House 11. It's perhaps it needs a lot of help. That's your fault, though, boys. I'd also like to thank the Watatu cats. Tigre, Oscar, even Suki, even though she leaves Watatu from time to time. And of course, Dante, who couldn't be here today, but I'm sure he's looking down from above, especially looking at Farhan. Okay, so now Watatu second year students. Each of you are on to new amazing journeys, and I cannot wait to see what you all do in life. However, many of you may be filled with uncertainty, doubt, and fear, so let me tell you a story. I think Beatrice would be proud of this story, though I know she would do a better job of it. Now, this is the story of the lion who thought he was a sheep. Yeah. So once upon a time, a lioness, maybe in the Muki jungle somewhere, huge with an unborn baby lion in her body, was growing weak from lack of food. As the baby lion grew heavier within her, she could not move quickly enough to catch any prey. Roaring with sadness and hunger, and heavy with the baby lion, the lioness fell asleep at the edge of the forest near a pasture. As she dozed, she dreamt of seeing a flock of sheep grazing. When in her dream she pounced on one of the sheep, she jerked herself awake. With surprise and great joy, she discovered that her dream was true. A large flock of sheep grazed in the pasture right near her. Forgetting the heavy baby lion in her body, and impelled by the madness of hunger, the lioness pounced on one of the young lambs and took it into the depths of the forest. The lioness did not realize that during the exertion of her mad leap at the lamb, that she had actually given birth to the baby lion. Now, the flock of sheep were so paralyzed with fear by the attack of the lioness that they couldn't run away. When the lioness had departed and the panic was over, the sheep woke from their stupor. They began to bleat out lamentations for their lost comrade, when to their great astonishment, they discovered the helpless baby lion crooning in their midst. One of the mother sheep took pity on the baby lion and adopted it as her own. The young lion grew up amidst the flock of sheep. Several years passed, and there, with a flock of sheep, roamed a huge lion with a long mane and tail, behaving exactly like a sheep. The sheep lion bleated instead of roaring and ate grass instead of meat. This vegetarian lion acted exactly like a weak and meek lamb. Now one day, another lion strolled out of the nearby forest onto the green pasture, and to his great delight, he saw this flock of sheep. Thrilled with joy and whipped by hunger, the great lion pursued the fleeing flock of sheep, when with amazement he saw a huge lion, with its tail high up in the air, fleeing at top speed ahead of all the sheep. The older lion paused for a moment, scratched his head, and pondered within himself, I can understand the sheep running away from me, but I can't imagine why this strong brother lion should run at the sight of me. This runaway lion interests me. Ignoring his hunger, he raced hard and pounced upon the escaping lion. The sheep lion fainted with fear. The big lion was puzzled more than ever and slapped the sheep lion out of his swoon. In a deep voice he rebuked, What's the matter with you? Why do you, my brother, run away from me? The sheep lion closed his eyes and bleated out in sheep language, Please let me go. Don't kill me. I'm just a sheep brought up with this flock. Oh, now I see why you're acting this way, the big lion thought. And he thought and had a great idea. He caught the sheep lion by the mane with its mighty jaws and dragged him toward a lake at the end of the pasture. When the big lion reached the shore of the lake, he pushed the sheep lion's head so that it was reflected in the water. He began to shake the sheep lion, who had still had his eyes tightly closed, saying, Open your eyes, look, you are not a sheep. Bleed, bleed, bleed. That's my impression of a sheep. Please don't kill me, let me go. I am not a lion, but only a poor, meek sheep, wailed the sheep lion. The big lion gave the sheep lion a terrible shake. The sheep lion opened his eyes and was astonished to find that the reflection of his head was not, as he expected, a sheep's head, but a lion's head, like that of the lion who was shaking him with his paw. Then the big lion said, Look at my face and your face reflected in the water. They are the same. My face roars. Now you must roar instead of bleeding. The sheep lion, convinced, tried to roar, but could only produce a whisper of a roar. As the older lion continued to exhort him with slapping paws, the sheep lion at last succeeded in roaring. Then both lions bounded across the pasture, entered the forest, and returned to the den of lions. So what is the moral of this story? I think it's quite simple. Many people are confused about their real nature, and they live lives like timid sheep. And sometimes you 1 or 2 second years are sheep, but know that you are actually lions. Never forget what your true nature is inside. You are not sheep, you're actually lions, so roar, be bold, go forth from Yuki with the courage to take on the world. And for one last time, who are we? Who are we? What makes the peace grow? Now come across the stage and get to the podium. Attention. Also, Aman. Anushka. Atieno. Katerina. Gayatri. Osman. Juan Diego. Marta. Farhan. Mir, he cannot be here today. Levon? Neil? Omar. Sheng Ming. Shreya. Tamaras. Also Tanai, who cannot be here today. Congratulations, Tanai. And last but not least, Raheem.
beautiful moments that we have made in Nuki on her camera. She's made Wada 3 a beautiful place to live in. It is my honor to call Wada 3's mom, Catherine, on the stage.
Wada 3 so special over the last 2 years? Well, we have the power of 3 on our side. The number 3 is magical. All good things come in 3. You want proof? Pythagoras thought the number 3 was the perfect number. The number of harmony, wisdom, and understanding. It was also the number of time, past, present, future, birth, life, death, beginning, middle, end. It was the number of the divine. The Latin phrase, omni trium perfectum, Harry Potter, translates as everything that comes in 3 is perfect. If Yang was here, he'd be able to tell us that in Chinese culture, 3 is considered a good number because it sounds like the word alive. We like the rule of thirds, we have the power of 3 primary colours, 3 blind mice. Alejandro, you and your students will know that the Roman numeral 3 stands for giant star in the Yerkes spectral classification scheme. We have lots of giant stars in Wada 3. David and all his students spend all their time discussing Hegel's dialectic of thesis plus antithesis equals synthesis, which creates 3ness, which overcomes the obvious limitations of 2ness. Sorry, Wada 2. So, what about 3s in Wada 3? I've been 3 years in Wada 3. We have our 3 stellar Wada adults. Alejandro, Anutuma, Mansi, thank you. There are 3 people we've missed this year. Alex, Andrew, David. We did term 3 online in Wada 3, or it should be E3 or something. We didn't like it much, but we did it. And you guys. Par Atageta Prem, a white trio, the hairiest, the tallest, and the Cezanne and Fazana are our future women of science and industry. They will work quietly and they will change the world. Arsalan, Tenzin Bardan, are 3 men from the mountains. At least we can be confident that some of you won't freeze in your first term at college. Karan, Kurt and Tom are 3 people who should be on everyone's guest list for the next Just Dance party. Lou, Deanna and Utcha, 3 alumna of Big House 2020. They survived the mold and the drips and the heaviest monsoon in recent history and still smiled. Our 3 style gurus, Catalina, Kayvili and Parisha, will all impress academically, but they also know that the perfect capsule wardrobe has exactly 33 pieces in it. Irene and Lydia are 3 lovable, bullshit political rebels, one of whom should never be allowed near matches. So after 3 terms together in Wada 3, here you are, Nuki graduates. Congratulations. We all wish you luck, love, and happiness in the future. And I want you to know that there is one last 3, that you have 3 places in the world you can call home. Your family homes, your beauty home, and a little Wada 3 outpost in the very middle of France, where there will always be a welcome for you. After Mayor. Arsalan. Atikeka. Badan. Diana. Fazana. Karan. Kevin. Lupita. Harisha. Carolina.
Tom. Utsha. Answer here. Thank you so much, Kat, and all of Water 3. Now, to welcome the water that's the heart of all Muki, the water that clearly won Muki Olympics, and in my completely unbiased opinion, the best water, I welcome on stage our mother, water parent, Zeenaji.
Good morning all. Let me take you to Vada for now. Once upon a time, I used to live in a wonderland. I thought I'd miss it once I left it behind. But then I discovered a whole new wonderland right here in Muki. One where amazing people from all over the world gathered. People with wonderful gifts and unique ways of seeing the world. And maybe I am biased, but I feel like we have got more than our share of the wonderful people at Vada. Like in House 6, Akansh, Diego, and Baltej are trying to have a conversation. Just a minute. In House 7, Mithila, Swanti, and Srishti, they're thinking about how to make faculty understand their point of view. In House 8, Eva and Salma are discussing the literature paper 1 and thinking, when will Zenith and Matthew get impressed with them? In House 9, Kesang and Manchika are adopting all the sad and lost souls. In House 10, Ayushi, Chiyu, and Salma are sending their clear vibes about how to love oneself. In House 11, oh dear Lord. It's Terence, Max, Sneh, and Ifan. I think trying to find the balance, I guess. And in some part of the world, Victor, Maya, Angelica, and Sana, they're also thinking about us just like we are thinking about them. But that is not it. In House 1, there is Andrew, talking about how chemistry is so easy and how everything is so chill. In House 3, Ravina is dreaming about the heart and planning to have all the Triveni meetings there. In House 4, Catherine talking to her cat about the great concepts of art and the American elections, of course. Thank you, guys. With all of you, I felt right at home because all of us are misfits in our own way. But when we came together, we felt like we had finally found our tribe, one with our own special Muki language. right change makers, who believe in community living and take personal and shared responsibility seriously. And always remember, Miyuki, it was you, what you make of it. And then our own special rituals, like 2 a.m. Maggie, or looking for people during check-in so that I don't send the email to on the hill. Our Vada anthem, or talking about the meaning of life, simply questioning the existence of God, or maybe everything. We even have our own monsters to better. Ode, the Vada for lizards. And how can I forget people calling me Alpha because I call them Beta? And all that is what creates the Vada postcard for me. We're smart, very smart, and also a little bit crazy. But we all look out for each other and make sure that everyone feels safe and welcome. That's what made this true for one to last time. So I and my Vada adult want to take this opportunity to thank you, our Vada for kids. You're very, very special to us and a very special part of our lives, and always will be. No matter how far you go or how long you take to get there. And make no mistake, you all will go very far. I mean that both metaphorically and literally. And that journey won't always be easy on. The thing is that this wonderful wonderland that we have created here is a rare cocoon. It's easy to fit in when you're surrounded by people just as wonderful as you are. But now that you're going out into the wider world, you will find yourself surrounded by people who live life according to a checklist, defined by society, which they never question. They'll call you idealistic, advise you to be pragmatic, to fall in line just like they have done. And if you follow their lead, then this wonderland will one day become just a faded dream. You look back fondly with nostalgia. Hey, but you know what, Vada? It does not have to be like that. Because each one of you carries a piece of this wonderland with you. When you step out of this cocoon, it's up to you to feed it and keep it alive. Wherever you go, whatever you do. And when the voices from outside start to get too loud, you can always reach out to the people sitting beside you. Because they may be on the other side of the planet someday, but there'll still be only a phone call away. The bonds you have built in this wonderland will give you the strength to create new wonderlands out there. Because if you keep the spirit of wonder alive inside you, then it will start infecting the world around you. It will take time and effort, but that's the only way to turn the whole world into a kind of wonderland you have created here. Because that's the whole purpose of Yuki, isn't it? So to show you that it's possible to build a world like this. So everything is really possible if you make it possible. So I hope that you all go very far, even though I will miss you all very much. And I hope that when they ask you where you're from, you say with pride, from Wonderland, because that's what I will say. And now let me present you the wonders of Vada. Ayushi. Valdez. Gio. Eva? Eva? Nida? Mark? Mithila? Salma? Sneh? Srishti? Santi? Tanishka just got up out of quarantine. It took 10 minutes to come here, so a special clap for her. Terrence? Vanshika? Ifan? Congratulations all. Thank you. Now, last but not least, to welcome a water that's small but mighty. Who's the water that's alive? Sure, okay. Sorry, I stole that joke from the 2018 graduation because Matthew said the hosts were funny. Now we welcome on stage their lovable water parent, Amitaji.
Hi, good morning everyone. So I have Beatrice with me online and she would like to say hello to everyone. Good morning. You all look very, very beautiful today. I want to start with 2 confessions, but before that, though she's not here with us, and we did get to hear from Beatrice, I really, really miss her, and I have learned so much from her. I hope her husband heals fast. And before I get into the confession box, I want to thank Manish and Monica for their help and support. It would not have been effective without you both, and a big, big thanks to Aparna for always being the shoulder that I could lean on. Aparna, you actually made me courageous. Thank you so much. And now to the confessions. First one, I would miss you. As a first-time Vara parent, I had an incredible year. It was very, very fulfilling. Thank you so much. Second, my kids loved me being a Vara parent. They were hoping that they would have a few more now who would agree with them that I am not just while dealing with children. They hoped that they will have more people to join their planned revolt against me. But they are disappointed with you. When they see me sticking all those thank you and love you notes on the refrigerator door, they have better hopes from the next year batch. Check-in was a chore to start with, but like as all wonderful things in life, it grew up to become one of the best tasks. The small under-tree chit-chat and ensuring that I run through the eyes of each one of you a quick smile check to get that comforting feeling that everyone is fine. I slept well. There were instances where I wished I was a student just like you. Though those were very, very few, there were times when Vara 5 proved that if they could come together, they could really do amazing stuff. Like finding Nathaniel an hour before the EE deadline was huge on campus. He forgot to press the submit button. And I used to think there are just 2 kinds of brats, Darsh and Mira. I was highly mistaken. I said hello to so many more this year. Hey, who was told to just keep smiling? Whatever the teacher is doing, she may be talking to you, scolding you, reprimanding you. You may have missed a deadline, but keep smiling. Anya, who just doesn't want anybody in the Vara to get into trouble. A friend who you want to have. Always, have your back types. And she is extremely passionate about ensuring that nuances of the Hindi language and expressions are spread far and wide across the world. My mature Wanda, thank you so much. The leadership qualities of Jason, the lady Laksa, Chelsea, the caring Mashad, Arjun, for hoping that someone else would come to deliver, like a great world leader nowadays is, and he can continue to make promises. Aditya, who I wish could figure out the difference between taking a stand and argument. Alia, I wish you nurture your passion for the environment. Divyanshi, who found her calling in Maldives, I wish you get there soon. Myra's sweet voice and Rishika's own world. I do hope that each one of you would be taking away precious memories, and the stint in Vara 5 would rank amongst the best time spent on campus. And thank you so much for winning Nuclear Olympics 2 years in a row. I hope you do awesomely great as you chart out your individual journeys. Make sure you stay true to the values that UWC stands for and make this world a better place. As my favorite Maya Angelou says, be the rainbow in someone else's cloud. And something that I have learned, if you are given a choice to be anything you want, be kind. Take care. Who is the Vara that's alive? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you Vara 5. Aditya Singh, Alia, Anya, Arjun, Divyanshi, Heying, Jason, Myra, Nathaniel, Chelsea, Rishika, and Wanda.
Congratulations, class of 2021. We are very proud of you.
Now, we're going to have a very special next performance. The song Ojalá, performed by all of the Latinos: Diego, Miranda, Pascual, Ulises, Paloma, Romulo, Ricardo, Luz, and Moises. So please welcome them on stage.
phone. Okay.
Ojalá que la lluvia ese milagro que baja por tu cuerpo. Ojalá que la luna pueda salir sin ti. Ojalá que la tierra no te bese los pasos. Ojalá se te acabe la mirada constante, la palabra precisa, la sonrisa perfecta. Ojalá pase algo que te borre de pronto, una luz cegadora, un disparo de nieve. Ojalá por lo menos que me lleve a la muerte, para no verte tanto, para no verte siempre, en todos los segundos, en todas las visiones. Ojalá que no pueda tocarte ni en canciones. Ojalá que la aurora, los gritos que caigan en mi espalda. Ojalá que tu nombre se olvide a esa voz. Ojalá las paredes no retengan tu ruido de camino cansado. Ojalá que el deseo se vaya atrás de ti. A un viejo gobierno de difuntos y flores. Ojalá se te acabe la mirada constante, la palabra precisa, la sonrisa perfecta. Ojalá pase algo que te borre de pronto, una luz cegadora, un disparo de nieve. Ojalá por lo menos que me lleve a la muerte, para no verte tanto, para no verte siempre, en todos los segundos, en todas las visiones. Ojalá que no pueda tocarte ni en canciones. Ojalá pase algo que te borre de pronto, una luz cegadora, un disparo de nieve. Ojalá por lo menos que me lleve a la muerte, para no verte tanto, para no verte siempre, en todos los segundos, en todas las visiones. Ojalá que no pueda tocarte ni en canciones.
Thank you for the lively performance.
Now, imagine bringing together a sassy Mughal princess, campus's most lovable loudmouth, and the entire company's sweetheart, all together.
That's exactly what we get in today's graduation. Please welcome the graduating batch speakers of class of 2021. Warmly from Allahabad. Zombie from Bangladesh and Perth from Philippines.
Before starting, we recognize that this speech may allude to sensitive experiences under the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. We in no way intend to offend or disrespect anyone who has been affected by the virus. We hope, by the acknowledgement of our deepest regrets and turmoils, we may be able to give justice to the hard work and perseverance that this cohort and the people watching this have exercised. And so now, imagine us wearing dashing white lab coats, wearing our safety goggles this year.
It's the year 2021, a strange and complicated time for many people around the world. Our hill has been struck by a fearsome contagion, but there's nothing to worry about. A group of young, ambitious, dashing UT students are ready with a solution. After 2 years of scientific research, experiential learning, and academic honesty, we have prepared a vaccine for the hill. That's right, we have a vaccine. All it took was a bunch of bacteria, chemicals, genes, I guess. I don't know. Yes, a student. But what I can tell you is that we use the rarest, most fearsome materials to bring this to life. I'm talking about the things that you will only find on this hill alone. At the very peak of Internet Hill, we excavated a precious chemical buried by the previous cycles of second years, first years, and 0 years. It is a very potent element, and when exposed to MUTI children, it results in a reaction that we can only describe as love, resulting in endless acts of compassion and appreciation that transcend borders and distance.
Love found itself in our vaccine in many ways. It traveled on the backs of new arrivals in 2019 as they trudged through rocky MUTI roads, holding onto the luggage of a helpless stranger they did not know yet. And this chemical would persist for a long time, manifesting itself in the relentless drive with which these arrivals explored and served the community around them, whether it was by coordinating a week-long service project or sharing a pot of Maggi with a friend. Even as we packed up and left this hill, traces of this potent chemical appeared to have remained with us, resulting in all sorts of alien reactions, creating music in Discord rooms and endless tablet validations. And it remains here with us today, lodged between seats of graduating students stealing glances at one another, knowing full well that they had made it at last.
But that is not all. We went down to the depths of a frightening, deadly pit known mysteriously as the AQ. And there we found a strange bacteria, something we have labeled as courage. It has found itself in the unlikeliest places in the last 2 years, exhibiting itself as the bravery in being the first to unmute and open their camera in a breakout room. Courage has defined the conduct with which our community has held itself in the last 2 years, from braving the relentless, unending rains and hikes from Walzai to Andarban, to making tough decisions as to how we can navigate a worldwide pandemic. We have been nothing short of brave in this journey. And we must be nothing but proud about it. We have fought individual battles, we persevered through our losses and heartbreaks on this hill, but we have worn brave faces throughout, and we have continued to solidify the foundations on which we have built and called a home. And finally, we used our sharpest chemistry skills, that Andrew can attest, to identify the antibodies necessary for this vaccine, using togetherness.
Togetherness to MUTI students comes in waves of social anxiety mixed with a constant itch to talk to someone new. Whether it's going on the infamous MUTI walks down the hill or even going to meals together. Even though the dividers in the CAF and the wrath of the interwara movement messed with our craving to be close to each other, every student was willing to take risks. HOCs, HOAs, HOSLs, HOELs were thrown our way, but we remain adamant in our passion for togetherness.
Of course, we did not do this alone. A senior group of researchers had also assisted us, guiding our vaccine exploration and even adding a few special ingredients of their own, which they referred to as UWC values. Upon experimentation, we realized that this led to side effects such as mutual responsibility, idealism, respect, and most of all, diversity. These side effects seem to have long-term impacts on the people who have been vaccinated, turning them into a compassionate, proud, and perhaps even loud group of change-making people determined to transform the world around them. As scientists, it is our belief that this may lead to some sort of herd immunity, where entire communities, much like ours, will be based upon such fundamental values promoted by our group of vaccinated change-making people.
Thus, this vaccine comes at an opportune time. The world around us is not the same as it was when we first entered this hill in 2019, graced by compelling multi-valley monsoon showers and smiling water parents. As our community pushed and pulled against the currents of time, the world found itself changed by a pandemic that turned it upside down. We have not forgotten the circumstances under which we had left this hill the last time. It tore us away from the place we had known as home for months and cast us out to different corners of the world. We were confused, angry, upset. And there are wounds deep within us from this time, wounds that we believe this vaccine is destined to heal. Even now, as we encounter nothing less than a fiery second wave, we find refuge in one another. We acknowledge the responsibility we have to each other, and we keep vaccinating ourselves and the succeeding batches too. We will be strong, we have been strong, and we will heal yet again. Though it's important to understand that no vaccine is a perfect solution. No matter how brilliant, awe-inspiring scientists the three of us are, there will always be a chance of the vaccine failing. But at this point, everything has been about chance. Second chances. These are what the vaccine provides, giving us degrees of immunity against stagnancy and immobility. The vaccine has allowed us to be together on this now chlorophyll-less hill and will keep us together, even in the small camera frame still. Of course, throughout our time here, we've made countless sacrifices, a limitation of the vaccine we cannot find a solution for. The missed out, highly eventful Sunday brunch, Tuesday lunch, the occasional COP days, and of course, the many WADA and advisor dinners.
Most of all, we've also made sacrifices in the relationship we share with our friends, faculty, and firstees. But maybe sacrifice is the element that makes the vaccine all that marketable to begin with. Without sacrifices, there will be no pain, no regret. And without pain and regret, no one would want to be cured of this infection. Sacrifice is the second name of the batches from 2019 to 2021. Everyone who's lived in Muki through this era has had to sacrifice a fraction of their time spent on their beloved hill. The most affected batch seems to be the Muki graduates of 2021. But who knows what the future holds? Maybe in the coming months, the duration of these sacrifices will increase, and hence the legacy of this vaccine that we are leaving behind shall be more useful than ever. Coming to the vaccine's risk assessment, an assessment some of us have had to do more than our internal assessments, indicates that the vaccine does carry a factor of peril where students on the receiving end can show symptoms like not feeling fully integrated in the community or shutting their emotional and mental radars down. And even though our school has provided a safety net of advisors, WADA parents, PSGs, and of course, Rini, sometimes nostalgia and reminiscing the good times can prevent these symptoms from getting serious.
People say masks make so much things more difficult. But look at all we've done while wearing it. Putting each strap to each ear, we've gotten better at listening to stories. Pulling each strap down each ear, we've also gotten better at telling stories. Oh, but putting each strap down each ear is something we weren't supposed to do. At times, though, we spoke harshly through the fabrics that were meant to protect us from harm in the first place. But it is often between the people who love each other the most that the most harm can be done. Amplitude and volume has been this year's game. Despite the urge to pull our masks down, we instead loudens our voices, pull up our sleeves, and try to create a Muki community worth living for. Perhaps there has always been a benefit to these masks. We leaned in when we couldn't hear each other. We asked people to repeat themselves when things were unclear. We threw ourselves into a ring of expression, because if we didn't, then we would have lost to the pandemic.
Food, water, shelter are all things that were provided to the patients of Muki waiting to complete the dose of their vaccine, and throughout their stay here, they've been welcomed by the kind and lovely Sodexo staff and faculty. The food in the caf made us go there despite the obstruction faced by the transparent giants of spit shield. The faculty, despite being as tempted to let go of the limitations of cotton masks, stood their ground, taking the decisions to be lovely adults and thought about the safety of the whole community. This year has been about making tough decisions. With the pandemic growing, it has been a choice between staying or leaving. With colleges knocking, it has been a choice between finance, future, or family. The phrase, "I don't know," has been a favorite one. By acknowledging incapacity, you are asking to be taught. Perhaps this place is about finding more and more things to say, "I don't know," about in the hopes of growing.
Okay, so we hope we have been able to sell this vaccine to you. The amount of I's and E's and other vowels that have their vocabulary recycled for this endeavor is unbelievable. But still, this comes with one notice. A single dose is never enough. What we believe is necessary is continuous doses of this vaccine. But that is a story that we believe is for the next generations of Muki changemakers, chemists, and IO writers. To our first years, you are inheriting generations of stories of countless young, frenzied people who have made history in this place. In many ways, each batch on this campus is a singular dose of a very ambitious vaccine. Doses carefully designed to create a great, beautiful home. It is now your turn to do what you will with this vaccine. It is your turn to create rich stories on this campus, spanning from the very edges of Internet Hill to the nefarious depths of the AQ. Stories about compassion, bravery, sacrifice, and togetherness. Unbelievable stories about a band of young, ragtag changemakers who stood firmly together even as the world seemed to turn upside down. Be what you have been destined to be since the very first day you came into this campus, UWC students. Do not forget this, because your roots in this place dig deep into the Mulchi Valley mud.
As for us, this vaccine allowed us to do so many things. We saw happiness not through the smiles of our lips, but rather through the minute squint in our eyes. We made cheeky signs to each other over cafeteria dividers, signs that meant 1,000 words by themselves. We rebuilt our community, one component at a time, and this is a privilege very few have had. This is where the effect of our dose comes to an end, and what a beautiful ending it brings with it. Moving forward, we have to choose between remembering to remember this place or remembering to forget this place. Either way, it's difficult.
Here's to the greatest vaccine on the planet, the Muki batch of 2021. Although Pfizer and Moderna might come close sometime. We have left an indelible mark on this hill with our own bits and pieces of bacteria, chemicals, and antibodies. Now, we will take these bits and pieces with us wherever we go. Remnants of the beautiful vaccine that we made in this place. And what beautiful stories we'll have to tell about it. Stories of this beautiful pill, of this beautiful dose, of these beautiful people, and how we stood side by side in love, courage, and togetherness, even as the world toppled upside down.
As in Duke's film about loving, and in Sabrina's voice, loving you is me. Loving Muki is us.
Thank you so much, Monty, Zahir, and Kurt, for your words and your vaccine. Now, this pandemic has led to our entire community rising up to the occasion in ways we wouldn't have thought was possible. Maybe as scientists like Zahir, Monty, and Kurt, but maybe in other forms as well. Before we begin our last performance of the day, we'd like to take a moment to appreciate the behind-the-scenes heroes of today's graduation. From the Student Light and Sound Triveni team, who have conducted an in-house graduation setup which has never been done before. To Sumit ji, who is running today's live stream for us. To the amazing Sodexo staff, who have created a delicious graduation lunch for us all and are always supporting us in any way possible. To the decoration team, who made beautiful decorations for the MPH today. Thank you to everyone who came together in such a short amount of time to create this graduation.
For the last performance, we would like to call Gong Shiyan from China and Tibet, Moses from Honduras, and Jia Kabukumi on the stage.
Before starting, I just want to name of my fellow dear and beloved batchmates, say a small introduction to our summer. The place where I had the opportunity to change people and to be changed by people. I've learned many things from the hill, from how to tune a piano, to how to give first aid to Romeo, from how to tie a knot in OES to how to do a 2,000 word essay and, well, fail it. From how to cook noodles to how to eat them with chopsticks. From how to feel tiny in a place this big to how to feel big being so short. From learning that life is better smiling and how to expressing it through a mask. From how to be passionate to how to be scared to finish my eloquent today, my math mock, my chemistry. Okay, you all know. And, well, here I learned to feel at home despite being so far from it. To be grateful and to understand that the family is not only where you are born, but also where you feel happy. It seems incredible to me that I had to fly 15,000 kilometers, travel different countries and series among 7 billion people to coincide and share with all of you. It is not a coincidence. It is a causality. You all, my beloved second years, are the cause. And as Newton said, every cause has an effect. And that effect will prevail in my memories. We will never forget you. Because for even if I'm far away, I will call you in my heart. For all of you, with all the love of the world, this song.
Remember me, do I have to say goodbye? Remember me, don't let it make you cry, or even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you. Each night we are apart. Recuérdame, aunque tenga que migrar. Recuérdame, si mi guitarra oyes llorar, ella con su making peace with our souls instead.
When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Every hour spent together lives within my heart. And when she was sad, I was there to dry her tears. And when she was happy, so was I. When she loved me, through the storm and the fall, we had each other, and I was all just you and I together, like it was meant to be. Remember when somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Remember every hour spent together, in my heart. Through the storm and the fall, we had each other, and I was all as you and I together, as God we are apart. Remember me when she was sad, the right I was here to dry the tears. Remember she was happy, so don't let it me when she cried. Through the dark and the light, I got each other, and I was all as you and I together, like now we are apart. Remember me. Remember I had to travel far. Remember me. Each night you kiss the guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again.
Thank you for the performance. This year was full of ups and downs, yet as a community we were able to make the most out of it. Batch of 2021, you guys are so amazing. We really hope to live by your expectations. The Moshi River, the sunset, the Magsai tree, the Internet Hill, and of course the community you will leave behind. We will miss your presence. Thank you so much for that truckload of memories. We shall be here 10 years from now to cherish another sunset and sing Country Road together all again.
Only in communal spaces and small gatherings, of course. No breaking the water movement restriction, even in 2031.
Sure, sweet pea.
As this graduation draws to a close, some would say it's time to say goodbye. But in Zeenat Ji's Hindi beginners class, we all learned that in Hindi we don't say goodbye, we say phir milenge, which means we'll meet again. On this hill, to a community that's not just from 4 corners of the globe, but from around 60. I guess this is all we can hope for. Phir milenge. See you all again.
This is just a quick reminder, the group photo is going to be outside the MBA steps, followed by lunch for the graduation batch and faculty. This is Smriti and Jigyasa signing off. Thank you so much.
Alright, this is just a reminder for all the alumni. Would you please go up to the steps so you can have your picture taken and then graduation is officially over. Congratulations.